Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Come on in here. Let's open our Bibles up today, and we're going to study Psalm 14, verses 2 and 3. Now, yesterday I said that these verses, they're quoted by the apostle in the book of Romans. So we're going to go over to Romans chapter 3 here in just a little bit. But let's just review. Remember, yesterday he said, "The fool has said in his heart, there is no God." Okay. And then you'll notice that the definition now, or the declaration, it goes from fool to everyone. They have said, there is none that does good. So the none that does no good, that's all of us. That's everybody. So we're all sold under sin. Our corrupt nature causes us to sin, and there's none that does any good. So if you say, of someone, well, that's a pretty good Joe. That's a good guy. Well, he may have done something good, but he's not good, because we're all corrupt inside. We bear the corruption of Adam, and then we add to that our own particular sins. So what we have here in Psalm 14 is a description of the problem of sin. So let me just read 2 and 3, and then we'll go and look at Romans. This is verse 2. "The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men, to see if there were any that did understand, and seek God. They are all gone aside, they are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one." All right, well, you see right here the problem. And the problem is not a problem from our perspective, but it's a problem from heaven's perspective, because the Lord looked. His judgment is that he looked and he didn't find anybody, because we are all corrupt. There is none that doeth good. No, not one. David in Psalm 14. Now let's go over to Romans chapter 3. So in Romans chapter 3, Paul is making an argument here, and he says, are we better than they? Speaking of the Jews. Are the Jews better than the Gentiles? And he says, in no wise. For we have before proved both Jews and Gentiles that they are all under sin. Okay. Now, what does he do? He goes to Psalm 14. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that understandeth, there is none that seeketh after God. They are all gone out of the way, they are together become unprofitable. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Okay, so there's our verses right there in Psalm 14. And what's he doing? Well, he's proving a point that he says we're all under sin, there in verse 9 in Romans 3. And then he quotes from David saying that not only is that a fact, but it's backed up by the Scripture. The Scripture teaches this idea that we are all lost under sin. There's none that doeth any good. There are none that are righteous. All of us are morally corrupt. Every single one. All of us, Jews and Gentiles, we're all under sin. So that's the problem. We've stated the problem, and we see it from God's vantage point, because the Lord looked down from heaven. This is his declaration, and he doesn't find anyone. He looks upon the sons of men to see if there are any that were righteous, if there were any that did understand and seek after God. Well, the fool, of course, is not going to seek after God, because he says there is no God. So why would he go? What would he seek God for? Why would he call on God? He's not going to call on him. He doesn't even believe that he exists. In his heart, he says there is no God. And of course, we are very close to that, all of us, because, our corruption is in our heart. It's a heart problem. And it's real easy for us to slide into that disbelief, that foolishness that says there is no God, which causes us to do some very, very abominable things. All right, well, join me tomorrow. We're going to look at we're just going to look at verse 4 tomorrow, and we'll talk about verse 4 and how that applies to the rest of what we've had. So we'll hope you'll join me then here on Daily Dose Radio.